This is the equation for elastic collision. An elastic collision is when energy is conserved and objects bounce off of each other. We measured both masses. Gwen's mass is 53.98 kilograms and Debbie's mass is 58.97 kilograms. Gwen's initial velocity was measured by the distance she traveled divided by the seconds it took her to travel that distance. So the velocity is negative 0.9146 meters per second. Debbie's initial velocity was measured the same way as Gwen's velocity. Her velocity is 0.55 meters per second. We are trying to look for Gwen's final velocity so that if Debbie ever runs into Gwen again, she won't fall as hard. Debbie's final velocity is 0 because she didn't move, but dropped her phone in the process. We plugged in the numbers into the equation and got the final velocity of negative 0.3138 meters per second. But since this is the opposite direction that Gwen initially went, her final velocity would actually be 0.3138 meters per second. Debbie is trying to find out how her final velocity can have a bigger impact than Gwen's.
Yeah, it was so good. I heard it was really good. Oh my god, this hallway. What happened? Every single time I leave this class, this girl always bumps into me. Really? Always. It's so annoying.
Wait a minute. Count the velocity.
Yeah, she's right. You could just calculate how fast you need to go so you won't bounce back a lot and then you don't hurt your phone or anything.
Oh, okay.
Debbie's trial to find out how her velocity compares to Gwen's. We use the same exact equation. Gwen's initial velocity is negative 0.677 meters per second, while Debbie's initial velocity was 0.614 meters per second. Gwen's final velocity was 0.5 meters per second. We plugged in the numbers into the equation and found out that Debbie's final velocity was negative 0.4634 meters per second. Remember, the velocity is negative because she is going in the opposite direction that she initially went. This is Debbie's third time trying to figure out her final velocity. We used the same exact equation as we did for the first two times. We found out that Gwen's initial velocity was negative 0.382 meters per second, while Debbie's was 1.289 meters per second. We are trying to find out Debbie's final velocity. Gwen's final velocity was 0.4 meters per second. Once we plugged in the numbers into the elastic collision equation, we found out Debbie's final velocity was 0.9393 meters per second. But remember, since she's going in the opposite direction that she initially went, it's actually negative 0.9393. This helped Debbie figure out how she can change her own velocity compared to Gwen's.